by the authority vested in me as the president by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. Section 1 policy, equal opportunity is the bedrock for American democracy. And our diversity is one of our country's greatest strengths, but far too many of the American dream remains out of reach. Entrenched disparities in our laws and public policies and our public and private institutions have often denied that equal opportunity to individuals and communities. Our country faces converging economic, health, and climate crises that have exposed and exacerbated inequities, while historic movement for justice has highlighted the unbearable human cost of systematic racism. Lots of words. Our nation deserves an ambitious whole of government equity agenda that matches the scale, opportunity, and challenges that we face. Yeah, you still talking. It is therefore the policy of administration that the federal government should pursue a comprehensive approach to advancing equity for all, including people of color. So you don't mean me. Because systematically, we know that when they say people of color, they don't mean us. Darn it. We're not in it again. Didn't call us by name. God dog it. We almost made it. We almost got a shout out. It is therefore the policy of my administration that the federal government should pursue a comprehensive approach to advancing equity for all, including people of color and others. Oh, so not just people of color, others. So it's going to be some old people in this gumbo. God dog it. I mean, and others who have been historically undeserved, marginalized, and adversely affected by persistent poverty and inequity. That could be anybody. Okay. Affirmatively advancing equity, civil rights, racial justice, and equal opportunity is the responsibility of the whole of our government. Okay, it is. But y'all still ain't doing nothing about it. Okay. Because advancing equity requires a systematic approach to embedding fairness in decision-making processes. Executive departments and agencies must recognize and work to redress inequities in their policies and programs that serve the barriers to equal opportunity. So you mean the people that are being racist towards us with the current policies are going to review their current racist policies and let us know if it's racist? Yeah, I'm going to hold my breath on that one. By advancing equity across the federal government, we can create opportunities for the improvement of communities that have been historically undeserved. Black! Why? Here's the thing. Why is it so hard to say black? Why? I don't understand. You can say LGBTQ, XYZ, however hard, the Asian Pacific Islanders, whatever, but you can't say black. You just can't say black. But you know, that's why I can't vote. I can't vote. Because you can't say black. You can't do nothing for me. I can't do nothing for you. And those of y'all that did, shame on you. Because now you're getting nothing. Now look at what you're getting. You made the difference. That's what they told you, right? They told you that you made the difference in the election. What are you getting? They turning up their ass to give you. By advancing equity across the federal government, we can create opportunities for the improvement of communities that have been historically undeserved, which benefits everyone. See, they said it right there. It benefits everyone. For example, an analysis shows that closing racial gap in wages, housing credit, lending opportunities, and access to higher education would amount to an additional $5 trillion in gross domestic product in the American economy over the next 5 years. Okay. So all they said was, for example, they never said that they're going to do this. The federal government's goal in advancing equity is to provide everyone with the opportunity to reach their full potential, consistent with the aims each agency must assess. Oh, they're just going to assess. Each agency must assess whether and to what extent its programs and policies perpetuate system barriers to opportunities and benefits for people of color and underdeserved groups. Such assessments, assessments will better equip agencies to develop policies and programs that deliver resources and benefits equitably to all. So, they already have a study showing that if they did it, that it will create, how much was it? An additional $5 trillion in the gross domestic product in the American economy over the next 5 years. They already did a study for that. But when it comes to what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, we still have to assess it. We need to study the study of the study. Section 2. For the purpose of this order, the term equity means the consistent and systematic, fair, just, and impartial treatment of all individuals, including individuals who belong to underdeserved communities that have been denied such treatment, such as Black, Latino. Listen to this list. Listen to this gumbo recipe, okay? Such as Black, Latino, and Indigenous and Native American persons, okay, Asian, the commas just keep going, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders and other persons of color, semicolon, members of religious minorities, okay, lesbian, okay, gay, okay, bisexual, okay, transgender, okay, and queer, and then they specify LGBTQ plus, persons, they real specific with that. Persons with disabilities, persons who live in rural areas. Excuse me? How you putting? And persons who are otherwise adversely affected by persistent poverty or inequality. Everybody. Everybody's in this gumbo. So we already know we're not going to get nothing. Nothing ever trickles down to Black people. We already know this. How the hell? The term, and let's adversely affected by persistent poverty or inequality. That could be anybody of any color, any race, any ethnicity, any religion, anything, anybody. So that just made it anybody. The term underserved communities refers to populations sharing a particular characteristic as well as geographic communities that have been systematically denied a full opportunity to participate in aspects of economic, social, and civic life as exemplified by the list in the preceding definition of equity. Section 3, the role of the Domestic Policy Council. The role of the White House Domestic Policy Council is to coordinate the formulation and implementation. Oh, so they're just coordinating the formulation. Okay. And implementation of my administration's domestic policy objectives. Okay, let's see. Consistent with this role, the DPC will coordinate efforts to embed equity principles, policies, and approaches across the federal government. Coordinate efforts, but nothing specific. Okay. This will include efforts to remove systematic barriers to provide equal access to opportunities and benefits, identify communities the federal government has underserved. They just did a study that you would get $5 trillion. They don't know which communities are underserved. Come on now. Oh, gracious. And develop policies designed to advance equities for those communities. The DPC-led interagency process will ensure that these efforts are made in coordination with the directors of the National Security Council and National Economic Council. You mean the same people who don't give us opportunities now? So they're supposed to give us opportunities now? Huh? Exactly. The director of the Office Management of Budget shall, in partnership with the heads agency, study methods for assessing whether agencies' policies and actions create or exacerbate barriers to full and equal participation by all eligible individuals. So you're going to study some more. Got it. The study should aim to identify the best methods consistent with applicable law to assist agencies in assessing equity with respect to race, ethnicity, religion, income, geography, gender identity, sexual orientation, and disability. As a part of this study, they still studying. As a part of the study, the director of OMB shall consider whether to recommend that agencies employ pilot programs to test model assessment tools that assess agencies in doing so. So notice that for other groups, when they have the executive orders, they are specifically talking about what they're going to do for these people. When they had the executive order for immigration, they said they were going to allow, 11,000? Like that, something like that. It was 11,000 immigrants they were going to give citizenship to, or that were already here in the country. And they get the specifics. But with us, it's a bunch of going around the mulberry bush and adding other people into our mix and all this kind of watering it down. And I know this is dull, but guys, like, this is important to read these things and understand when people are really playing you in your face and you acting like, you don't even know that they playing you. Like, we have to know. Like, come on. Within 6 months of the date of this order, the director of OMB shall deliver a report to the president describing the best practices identified by the study and, as appropriate, recommending approaches to expand use of those methods across the federal government. Oh, gracious Lord. There's more. The head of each agency, so this is section 5, conducting an equity assessment in federal agencies. The head of each agency or designee shall, in consultation with the director of OMB, select certain of agency's programs and policy for a review that will assess whether underserved communities and their members face systematic barriers in accessing benefits and opportunities available pursuant to those policies and programs. Another study. The head of each agency, and honestly, I wonder if these studies aren't just to make sure that the policies aren't helping us. I feel like they study just to make sure that it doesn't help us, because you can't they don't want to accidentally help the Negroes. I put this policy in place to hurt the Negroes, not help them, so I want to study to make sure every year that the policy that I put in place is not helping these Negroes, because that's not what I intended it to do. And that's what I feel these studies are for, because they obviously aren't helping us, because they're constantly doing studies and ain't nothing being done for us. Okay. The head of each agency or designee shall conduct such review within 200 days of the date in this order to provide a report to the assistant, the president of the domestic policy, blah, blah. Potential barriers that underserved communities and individuals may face to enrollment and access benefits and and services in federal programs, just like they're doing now with the small business loans. Small business loans was supposed to help small business. I keep hearing about how many big businesses are giving the money back or being shamed into giving the money back. But I know a lot of small businesses that didn't get these loans. So is this the same criteria? Oh, okay. I'm just going to go straight to section 8. Engagement with members of underserved communities. In carrying out this order, agencies shall consult with members of underserved communities that have been historically underrepresented in federal government and underserved by or subject to discrimination in federal policies and programs. The head of each agency shall evaluate opportunities consistent with applicable law to increase coordination, communication, and engagement with community-based organizations and civil rights organizations. And I'm going to ask a question. So are you going to consult with the same black politicians that are allowing us to be gentrified to be damned?
Sign up for free text alert.
Section 8. Engagement with members of underserved communities. In carrying out this order, agencies shall consult with members of underserved communities that have been historically underrepresented in federal government and underserved by or subject to discrimination in federal policies and programs. The head of each agency shall evaluate opportunities consistent with applicable law to increase coordination, communication, and engagement with community-based organizations and civil rights organizations. And I'm going to ask a question. So are you going to consult with the same black politicians that are allowing us to be gentrified to be damned? Are those the members of the communities of the underserved that you're talking about, that you're going to consult? Because they clearly don't have our best interests in mind. And these are your people. These are your democratic picked people. So once again, I'm going to ask the question, who are these members of the communities that you are going to consult with? Who gets to pick these members? All right, yeah. So I'm done with this executive order. You can see the rest of it on whitehouse.gov. Okay. So now I'm going to move right into my next article. This article is called Asian American Workers See Biggest Losses in Tepid Jobs Report. This article is carefully worded to say what they wanted to say. You just have to peek.
We're out here today because a grandmother came here with her 2 granddaughters to get their nails done. The granddaughter got her nails done, her feet done, and her eyebrows done. She paid for the nails, she paid for the feet. Her eyebrows were messed up, she did not want to pay for them. Eyebrows cost $5, ladies and gentlemen. So because she did not want to pay the $5 for her messed up eyebrows, they attacked this grandmother and her 2 granddaughters.
For this, I just log on to Facebook and I see Jade talking about how 1426 Nostrand tried to open back up last night or yesterday. They tried to sneak back into the community and open up. So let me ask you a question. My question is how? The community board assured us that once we got a certain amount of signatures, that this business would never open again. The black politicians assured us that once we got the signatures and the support of the community, that this beauty supply could not open up again. So my question is, how? How are they back open? Where are the black politicians that made assurances to us? So you want to know why people don't want to vote? That right there. We just had an election and y'all serious? Y'all gonna wait till after the election and let these people open back up? So I'm here, like I told y'all, early in the morning. We're going to shut them down early in the morning. We do have one sellout that's already inside getting her nails done. But it's okay because you can't pay your rent on $20, okay? You can't pay your rent on $20. So you're going to get that. You're going to get those 1 or 2 sellers. But we're not going to let that stop us. So I had to get up early and take my car to the mechanic. I went to go get me some saltfish and fried bake from Trini Breakfast Shed, which is my favorite breakfast place. And I woke up and Michael is putting a "we apologize" sign on the thing.
Tell him what he can do with that apology. You said it's time too to put this sign up here. I think I can speak on behalf of the community. We don't accept.
Look, he's actually filming his wonderful sign that he put up. Child, bye.
We don't want you here. Don't come back. We don't accept your apology. We don't accept. We will never accept. You are not okay. Do not come back.
Sign up for free text alerts. You can find the link in my bio or in the description. I didn't really want to speak on this topic because I felt like any way you say it, it sounds heartless. But it's true. But people are heartless towards us, black people. People are heartless to us. People have been heartless towards us for hundreds of years. And I believe the ancestors have given me a way to make it clear. Everyone has seen, I'm not going to play the video because it's all over the place. I'm sure you've seen it. The video of the girl whose parents were taken away by ICE. All right, I'll play it. I played a short version just because, you know, I like you to see what I'm talking about.
I don't want my dad. No, the Hispanic people are not doing nothing bad. They're not stealing nothing. I can't do nothing but please open the door for the parents. I'm stuck over there in jail. I'm not gonna have nothing. It's the first day of school for me. My dad bought my everything for me to live over here. The rent, and I don't know what I'm gonna eat. And I'm so lonely right now. I need my dad for me. My dad didn't do nothing. He's not a criminal. So the government, please put your heart. Let my parents be free with everybody else, please. Don't leave the child with cryness and everything.
It's really, really heart-wrenching to watch a child cry like that. I'm not gonna lie. But I also can't lie about the fact that it's not my problem. That sounds really heartless, right? Okay, but let me put it in perspective. How many police officers that killed unarmed black people have Z's in their name? I'll wait. A lot, right?
Heartbreaking video shows Philando Castile's girlfriend and her daughter just moments after the 32-year-old was shot to death by a police officer in their car last July.
Mom, please help him because of the screaming because I don't want you to get shooted.
The 4-year-old begs Diamond Reynolds, who is handcuffed in the back of a police cruiser, to calm down so the police don't shoot her too. The girl also tried to comfort her distraught mother.
I could keep you safe.
They were in the car when police officer Geronimo Yanez pulled Castile over for a broken taillight. Then this happened.
Sir, I have to tell you, I do have a firearm on me.
Don't reach for it then. Don't pull it out. Don't pull it out.
Reynolds recorded the incident on Facebook Live.
Oh, not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license.
Waiting in the back of the police car, the child was scared her mom was in danger.
Damn. So nowhere I can take these off?
No, please don't. I don't want you to get shooted.
Turn around, grab something real quick.
Mom, they not gonna shoot me, okay? I'm already in handcuffs.
Don't take them off. You take them off.
Officer Yanez testified he feared for his life, and he was acquitted of all charges against him, including manslaughter. He's no longer on the police force, but his actions are not soon to be forgotten by those who witnessed them.
I wish this town was safer. I don't want it to be like this anymore.
Yeah, that part. On top of that, I have to be logical and factual about the situation. That little girl was crying because her parents were put in jail because they chose to come here, right? For whatever reason, right? But our children are crying because they're burying their parents.
Go ahead. I've been born and raised in Charlotte, and I never felt this way till now. And I can't stand how we're treated. And it's a shame that our fathers and mothers are killed, and we can't even see them anymore. That's right. It's a shame that we have to go to the graveyard and bury them. And we have tears, and we shouldn't have tears. We need our fathers and mothers to be by our side.
You see the difference? I can't. Don't get me wrong. I'm in no way saying that what they're doing is right. What do you expect? This is America. Welcome to America. Welcome to what we've been dealing with for the past 400 years. Oh, you thought you were going to get it easier than us because you're a little lighter and you look a little bit more European. Welcome to America. This is how they treat people. It's not all sunshine and roses. Welcome to America. See, had you really been about joining together with us, we could have told you. We could have warned you. But you thought that you thought you had an alliance with them on us. You thought, let me just join with them. I'll kill them too. Everything will be okay. You thought you could join with them. Welcome to America. You see, while they are fighting a country in which they weren't born in for the right to live where they want to live, we as black people in the United States of these Americas are fighting to live. Welcome to America, where they tell you it's the land of the free and the home of the brave, but it's the land of white supremacy, and how can we turn you into a slave?